Alright, let's dive into this story about a young couple snagging a $2.665 million home in Maroubra, Sydney. But before we get into the details, let me just say, this isn't just another real estate story. What makes this really interesting is how it reflects broader trends in the property market, especially for young buyers. Personally, I think it's a perfect case study to unpack what's happening in today's housing scene. So, here's the hook. Imagine selling your apartment, inspecting 7 properties in a weekend, and then dropping nearly $2.7 million on a 3-bedroom house. Sounds intense, right? But this is the reality for many young couples and families in competitive markets like Sydney. What many people don't realize is that this kind of aggressive upsizing isn't just about finding a bigger space. It's about securing a foothold in a neighborhood that's likely to appreciate in value. Now, let's break it down. The property, at 10 Cutton Street, had a price guide of $2.4 million and a reserve of $2.6 million. Here's where it gets fascinating. The winning bid went $65,000 over the reserve. In my opinion, this isn't just about the house itself, it's about the location. Maroubra is a prime eastern suburb, close to the beach, and let's be honest, who wouldn't want that? But what this really suggests is that buyers are willing to pay a premium for lifestyle and future growth potential. One thing that immediately stands out is the competition. 5 groups registered to bid, with 4 actively participating. This isn't just a casual auction, it's a battleground. From my perspective, this level of competition highlights the scarcity of quality homes in desirable areas. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about supply and demand, it's about emotional decision-making. People aren't just buying houses, they are buying a future. Now, let's talk about the underbidders, a young family renting in the same street. This raises a deeper question. How many families are stuck in the rental cycle, unable to break into the market? Personally, I think this is one of the most overlooked aspects of these stories. While we celebrate the winners, there's a whole group of people who are still struggling to get their foot in the door. A detail I find fascinating is that the house had been held by the same family for 66 years. This isn't just a property transaction, it's a generational shift. The sellers were 2 brothers acting on behalf of their mother in aged care. If you think about it, this is a story of changing family dynamics and the emotional weight of letting go of a long-held asset. Now, let's compare this to another auction in Hornsby, where a 3-bedroom home sold for $2.24 million. What's interesting here is the contrast in bidding behavior. In Maroubra, it was a fierce competition, but in Hornsby, one bidder didn't even show up, and another withdrew after a bid was rejected. This highlights how localized market conditions can be. In my opinion, Hornsby's market might be cooling slightly, while Maroubra is still red hot. What this really suggests is that not all suburbs are created equal, even within the same city. Buyers are increasingly picky about where they invest, and factors like school catchments, like Hornsby North Public School, are becoming deal breakers. Personally, I think this trend is only going to intensify as families prioritize education and community. So, what's the bigger takeaway here? In my opinion, this story isn't just about 2 auctions, it's about the shifting dynamics of homeownership. Young couples are upsizing earlier, often at a premium, because they see property as both a home and an investment. But this raises a deeper question. Is this sustainable? Are we pricing out the next generation of buyers? If you take a step back and think about it, these auctions are microcosms of the broader housing market. They are emotional, competitive, and often irrational. But they are also where dreams are made, or broken. Personally, I think we need to have a bigger conversation about affordability and accessibility, because stories like these are becoming the exception, not the rule. So, here's my closing thought. As we celebrate these young couples winning their dream homes, let's also remember the thousands who are still on the sidelines. What does this mean for the future of homeownership? And more importantly, what can we do to make the market fairer for everyone? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective.